Hi, this is Jim Turborg with Chris Daughters at the Fly Shop, Caddis Fly Shop. And Chris showed me a new product a couple of weeks ago, this Clear Cure Goo. And boy, I fell in love with it with making chironomids. One of the things with chironomid flies is you want to keep them thin and you want that glow. As it goes through the water column, it collects oxygen and it glows. So this has been done with reflective materials, Sally Hansen's, super glue that you brush on, even injecting oil into midge tubing. I've done all of those things. This product puts the best coating on a chironomid fly, and I can't wait to do these in the lakes in the Cascades in British Columbia. So I'm going to tie my first go-to fly, which would be a size 12 black and red chironomid. And this is being tied in a very realistic way. Our fish see a lot of flies, and in still water it just hangs there, so they get to watch it. So I like the realistic patterns. Got a size 12 Daiichi hook. I like the Daiichi 1150. It's a straight eye, it's a slightly offset, and it's got a curve. Some either 95 or 150, is that the right size? Lagerton black thread. I've got two pieces of silver and red small wire. That will be the rib. I'm going to wrap that on, keep it on the top, and wrap it all the way down. Again, we want to keep it as thin as possible. I'm going to wrap it down around the bend a little bit. I like to kind of look at it. Okay, now I'm going to advance the thread and make sure I've got everything more or less covered. Maybe build up just a little bit of a taper here. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to take the two wires, try to hold them close together, and I'm going to wrap it maybe 6 or 7 times. Some people say it has to be 7 because that's the number of segments on a real chironomid. I've never seen a trout that can count, but you want to have some aspects of segment. Now this is with the small. You can also use extra small. I'm building up the thorax here a little bit. Wrap these. I was told that that always does a better job than cutting them. There we go. Now I'm going to build up a little bit of a thorax, and you're saying, where's the weight? Where's the bead? How is this going to go down? Well, you either let it sink, let it take a little time, or you get a small really good quality ball bearing swivel, and you tie your fluorocarbon from here maybe 2 feet up to a swivel, and then you tie your leader material to the swivel, and the swivel will take it down. So now I want to put on wing pads, and I've tried all different kinds of products, but this is the Lagerton French mini flat braid, and it's called I think fluorescent red, but it really is orange, and this is too big to use. So I take the braids and I cut them up and separate them with the tip of my bodkin or my scissors. So now I've got 2 pieces here, and on either side I'm going to tie them in, and then I'll go to the other side. It doesn't have to be perfectly across from each other. Tie those in. Now I'm going to build up the thorax again a little bit. You want to be careful not to crowd the eye too much. That's something I always do. So then I'm going to take the 2 strands, bring them over, a couple of wraps, bring on the other side the 2 strands, a couple of wraps, trim the excess off as close as we can. Now, some people say that the gills are important, others say it isn't, but it doesn't hurt. This is the Steelhead Stalkers UV yarn, and I just take a little bit of this, thinking that UV might be helpful. So I've got a small tuft, and on this model I'm just going to tie it forward I'm not going to do the figure eights and wrap it side to side. Let's push that back a little bit. And then I'm going to bend it forward and tie it down. Let's get it back there. And then I'm going to just make a couple of half hitches. We're going to use the Clear Cure Goo, and that'll be like a head cement. And this will work. Trim off the excess. And you want to make the wing, the gill plates should be really quite small. A lot of people tie them very large, but on a real Chironomid they're not that big. So I'm just going to trim a little bit, and you want just the taste. So now we've got it, and we need to put the coating on, and this is a two-step process, or actually a three-step process, because you have to cure it. I'm going to put it down this way so it'll run down. And I've got the thin, and this comes in other styles, thick and fleck and so forth. And I don't use the needle to put this on. I use my bodkin, and I just reach in here. And this is great stuff. Look at that. It just sits there. It doesn't run. It doesn't do anything until you cure it. So I'll put some at the top. And it's thick enough it doesn't wick up on the gill material. And it may look a little messy, but it levels out.
It sort of flows, doesn't it? I mean, it's...
Yeah, it does, and it's really nice. And you can sit here, and you know, the phone can ring, and you can almost come back. Want to get some out of the inside bend there a little bit. So there it is. Let it flow a bit. Now we take the light, and it cures in about 5 seconds or less. And I don't know if you can see the glow of the ultraviolet showing a little bit on the wing pads and the gills. Now left this way it should be fine, but it gets a little bit tacky. So what I like to do is finish it off with the hydro, and this comes with a brushable top, and so you don't carry too much product. I actually took the brush and I cut it to make it a little bit smaller, because this will run on you. So I'm trying to get some off, and then you just put some of this on.
And that's the nature of hydro. It's the thinnest.
This is the thinnest, yes.
Of the Clear Cure Goo.
But then this doesn't stick.
And it's not a real building, it's just a finish.
Correct. But you can also do these by itself with just the hydro, and that looks pretty good. Now, Chris, does that show up with the ultraviolet?
The white is, yeah, I mean, it's really bright.
Now let's straighten it out. Make it stand up the way it would more. And that's your finished fly, black with a red and silver rib coated with the Clear Cure Goo. And you can see the goo in there, and that's going to reflect and look like a natural Chironomid.